All right, welcome back, guys. We're on to week 6. Week 5 was a crazy week. It was a good week for me, fantasy wise. LJ, how about you? How'd you do?
Terrible.
It was a bad week.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad week for
Dontavian Wicks
your
crapped the
personal
bed
team.
for us.
Bad
Hey,
week for
look,
your personal team.
Wicks crapped the bed, but I got good news to tell you about Wicks. So he's going to be okay. So anybody who did get him, don't panic. We're fine.
Yeah, maybe your personal teams weren't good, but let's go into who we gave these people last week because we got into Bo Nix. No one was telling you to pick up Bo Nix and start Bo Nix last
Hell,
week.
I wish I'd have played Bo Nix over Mahomes.
And Bo
I
Nix,
have Bo Nix.
Bo Nix put up 20 fantasy points and was, I think, a top 5 quarterback this week. Beyond Bo Nix, we also gave you Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert put up 18 fantasy points.
And caught the winning touchdown pass on the last play of the game.
Yeah. And now they're all telling you to go pick up Jalen Tolbert. We've been talking about Jalen Tolbert for 2 to 3 weeks now. Beyond that, we gave you Tucker Kraft, caught a 60-yard touchdown pass, 22 fantasy points. I'm pretty sure he was tight end 1 for the week. We missed on Dontavian Wicks. We missed on Samuel, but that's okay. We can't hit them all. But we gave you guys really, really good plays. In fact, I played Tucker Kraft and I played Bo Nix this week. So needless to say, I won that league and won that game. And everyone was like, good Lord, man, how'd you know to play those guys? Well, it's what we do. We study. We find opportunities and we look at the opportunities, and they don't always pan out. But we do search for the opportunities and we put them in front of you.
And the thing about it is we have made calls. We're giving you the opportunity. No one's watching again, so we're really just talking to ourselves.
We're really giving ourselves the opportunity.
Yeah, but that's good. Hey, and few people who are watching, how about sending it to someone, for crying out loud? Unless you're trying to get the information and keep it secret, but that doesn't help us. But here's the deal. We got week 6. There's a lot going on. Quarterback wise, I want to touch on it real quick. So Drake May from the New England Patriots is right around the corner of getting his first start. I don't know where that's going to go. Drake May's a North Carolina boy. I graduated from the University of North Carolina, so I like the guy. But I don't know if he's set up to be successful there. But anyway, I think eventually he's going to be good. He can run the ball. In college, he was a good runner, fast. He's got a good arm. He comes from a very athletic family, good kids, smart kids, very well behaved. So
he will make bad passes, though.
Yes.
I saw it in college, and you'll see it for the Patriots if they give him the opportunity to make those passes.
He makes wildly just almost Hail Marys, but they're not even Hail Marys. They're just thrown up for grabs. And that's true. He makes he's not as accurate as I'd like him to be.
Who knows? I think listen, he's going to run some. He's going to get you some yards on the ground. And you just don't know. I think he's worth a flyer, just kind of saying, hey, put him on your bench. See what happens.
Well, for you folks who don't know Drake May, just real quick, 6'4", 6'5", 220 pounds, family of 4 boys, all 4 boys. Luke, the oldest one, what was the oldest? Luke was the oldest. There's 4 boys. I can't remember all their names, but Luke was the basketball player on the Tar Heels, 6'8", hit the shot to beat Kentucky to go to the national championship. But all of these kids are between 6'5" and 6'9". The thing you got to understand about May is he's a good kid, but the whole nobody realizes how good an athlete he is, except people like us who watched him in college. The guy can literally he's about as good. He's not as good, but he's about as good a runner if he wants to run the ball as Daniels in some ways. Not the athletic, but he's fast. He's fast. I'm telling you, I've seen the guy run for 100 yards and pass for 300 in a game. He's got a lot of ability, and he's not he will take coaching. If he's getting good coaching, he'll take it. I'll be honest with you, Friedman. I don't think he got that great of coaching in college. Do you?
No, I don't think so. But passing wise, he reminds me a little bit of Herbert.
Yeah, but he's a better runner than Herbert, and he reminds me honestly of Josh Allen light.
Yeah,
Inaccurate, but can run the ball. Not as big. But anyway, enough on him. Yeah. Next guy is, and I can't even believe I'm mentioning this guy, but Daniel Jones is only rostered in 9% of leagues. He's got the best wide receiver perhaps in the NFL right now, or one of the best in Neighbors. He's tremendous. He's got Wan'Dale Robinson. He's got this Theo Johnson kid we'll talk about when we get to tight ends coming along. And I'll tell you, I like Jones. If they can block for him, he's a little bit like May, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And Jones has a really, really good schedule coming up.
He does. And so take a look at Jones. And then you mentioned Herbert. Take a look at Herbert. A lot of people dropped him when he got injured. Bo Nix is only 10% owned in all of fantasy football. So if you need a starter, you're in a double league, I can't imagine Nix is available in too many super flex leagues, but if he is, get him. And then Trevor Lawrence. I just noticed he was 54% rostered, so 46% available. You know, I know he's had his moments of terrible, but he's also had his moments where he looks good, and he's got a tremendous receiver in Thomas. I think if Ingram comes back healthy, Tank Bigsby turns out to be a decent player here.
Christian
Still
Kirk.
got ETN. I think there's a pathway for Lawrence to become successful and for him to be a quality starting quarterback. But we keep saying it. It's just, it's time to deliver. But that's your quarterbacks that I looked at. Anything you got on quarterbacks, Friedman?
No, you hit on all the ones that it's funny. Quarterback's an interesting position this year, right? The Daniel Jones and the Bo Nix and those guys are relevant. Last year it was an automatic. I'm going to start Stroud over Daniel Jones and Bo Nix, no problem. I'm telling you right now, in a good matchup, I'm starting Bo Nix or Daniel Jones over a guy like Stroud or Mahomes some of these weeks. Right now, I'm telling you.
I told you an interesting fact earlier today, and I'll tell the two people watching today that Mahomes has not had a relevant fantasy football outing since Thanksgiving of last year.
Yeah.
Now, what's odd about that is I don't think he's lost the friggin' game since Thanksgiving of last year. So him playing well in fantasy does not correlate to that team doing well. That's the problem we got with Mahomes.
Yeah.
They can win and he can stink. So,
right.
If you got Mahomes, I'm sorry, you got a problem. And I got him. So
if you have Mahomes and you drafted him early, look to grab one of these guys like a Daniel Jones or a Bo Nix, and maybe you start him. Maybe you choose matchups where where you think, hey, Bo Nix can
I'm seriously considering picking up Jones this week and dumping, but I don't,
It's hard to do just because name alone, because of the name, but geez, man, Daniel Jones has not been bad, and if you look at his schedule, he's got a really good schedule coming up.
Well, I mean, I don't even care. I mean, is Patrick Mahomes a better quarterback than Daniel Jones in real time? Yeah, but we're playing. We folks. Here's the deal. I heard a guy say it. We're not playing. We're not buying personalities. We're buying points.
We're not picking guys that are going to lead us to a Super Bowl. We're picking guys who are going to get the most fantasy points.
Right. And Mahomes stinks at that, but he's great at the other. Yeah. All right, so wide receiver. So the number one guy on everyone's list this week is Jalen Tolbert. They're late. We were a week early on him. He's still only 8% rostered, if you can believe that. So evidently no one believes he's any good. So, I wish I would have done the same thing with Dontavian Wicks, but I didn't. But Tolbert proved, if I would have picked Tolbert instead of Wicks to play last week, what a difference it would have made. So anyway, Tolbert is out there. Michael Wilson is still out there, 13%. I like the guy. He had another good week. You know, I don't like Murray, but I like him. But Murray's okay. The thing with Murray is he's just it's so tough for him to be a really relevant passer every week. And I'm looking for him to be a passer. And because I want guys that he's got on his team, and he's just not.
Yeah.
But and then the next one is Demario Douglas, Jalen Polk, and Kendrick Bourne. I just grouped those guys all together. New England's got 3 or 4 receivers. All of them could be relevant. They're all good enough players, but we'll see if May comes along. So keep an eye on the New England receivers as May comes along. Also, Alec Pierce. Everyone keeps writing this guy off, including me. Every time I turn around, he's got another 100-yard game. Okay, so the point is, everyone said, well, Flacco's no good for Pierce. Wrong. Flacco was perfect for Pierce. All Pierce does is run, 70-yard routes. And so, look, Pierce is in the top 20, maybe top 10 in wide receivers right now. It's hard to believe, but he is. Mike Williams from the Jets. I started to see a pattern there with Saleh getting fired. Maybe there's more opportunity for Williams. Joshua Palmer is coming back from some injuries. We'll see if he. And I'm not telling you pick up these guys. Watch them. Keep an eye on them. I'm keeping an eye on them, or I'll do it for you. But I would say pick up Tolbert and Wilson if you need a wide receiver this week. Luke McCaffrey, Diami Brown of the Redskins. I heard another rumor, Friedman, that Devontae Adams might consider the Redskins.
Ooh,
which is crazy because you'd think the last thing he'd want to do is play with a rookie quarterback.
I don't know. I think a lot of people want to play with Jaden Daniels, man. He's the number 2 quarterback on the season fantasy wise behind Lamar Jackson. He's been awesome.
Now, if you got some deep dives, especially like you, Friedman, you got Bo Nix. There's 3 deep dives here, all of them less than 10% owned, one of them 0%. So Adonai Mitchell, again, he had an uptick in his workload this week, which was unusual because there was all kinds of guys out there. But that dang on Flacco can support 3 receivers and a tight end. So Adonai Mitchell might be more relevant with Flacco playing. Troy Franklin from Denver. He started to work into the rotation a little bit. Here's why that's interesting, Friedman, for you. Troy Franklin is an Oregon kid. He played with Nix at Oregon.
Yeah.
So he might end up being a guy that, as the season progresses, starts getting up. And then with Nico Collins out, a guy named Xavier Hutchinson is going to get a run. And he played the entire second half last week. He's 6'2", 210, 4.5 40. From Kansas State. All the physical attributes look good. I don't know if he can catch the ball, but they all look good. And then I wanted to jump back to Wicks and talk about Wicks real quick because I take it personally when I screw up, and I did screw up. But I don't think I screwed up permanently. Here's why. He had 9 targets. He dropped 4 balls. 3 of them were pretty bad drops. The other one was not. And then he had 4 or 5 balls that were just bad passes, terrible passes that he was open on. The good news is the guy was open all day long. The bad news was he dropped them or Love missed him.
I know.
I don't like dropping
efficient.
Drops do not carry to next week. Drops are not something. It's like the flu. You get rid of it. It's not something that most, unless they got the yips or something and it does them in. I don't think he's in that category at all. Just a bad day. I think he lights it up this week. So I think he's going to be good. Let's go to running back real quick.
Wait,
not a lot of running backs.
You didn't let me talk about any wide receivers.
What?
You didn't let me talk about any receivers.
Oh, I thought you were. Go ahead.
So, LJ, one guy you didn't even mention, Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, I had him on there. I just forgot about him. Yeah.
He's 7% owned right now, Juju Smith-Schuster. He just caught 7 balls for 130 yards. He's probably going to be the number one waiver wire ad for a lot of people this week, just because Rashee Rice went down. He's out for the year now, is confirmed. He's done.
Here's the problem with Schuster. First off, he's not. Everyone's saying he's old. He's not old. He's 27 or 28. So,
Yeah,
and he was a tremendous wide receiver when he first came into the NFL. So there's nothing wrong at all with adding him to your team if you feel like. And I think Mahomes is going to throw to him quite a bit. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Again, it's just like, where are the Chiefs going? So I could, the week before, you know how many passes Schuster caught?
0.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's to say he doesn't pull another 0? The other problem with him, he's on bye.
Yeah, he's on a bye. But he may be worth adding. Mahomes finds guys that he likes a lot of the times. And he found Rashee Rice, and he hit Rashee Rice over and over and over and over again. He did that with Juju Smith-Schuster. He hit him over and over again.
Well, kind of. He did that yesterday, but he didn't do that when Smith-Schuster was here before.
Right.
Smith-Schuster did not have. I mean, they won a Super Bowl, so what the hell? But he was. I mean, I even saw that Marcus Val. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, quarterbacks like that can make really middle of the road players relevant. So I'm not saying he's middle of the road. I'm not sure what Schuster's, but I do know this. He absolutely stunk in New England last year. So, but again, you know, if you like him, and he's probably going to catch more passes than anybody that I've talked to you about today in reality. But
well, if you want to know his snap count, week 5, it was 67%, same exact amount as Xavier Worthy. So he's out there a lot. He's going to pass to him. He's got to pass to somebody. Mahomes is a passing quarterback.
Not only that, Worthy doesn't even run what I would call a wide receiver workload route. He just kind of runs.
And the other guy that I just want to talk about, who's more owned but has been really good all year, is Darnell Mooney. If you don't have Darnell Mooney, if he's available in your league, because he's available in 48%, or he's available in 52% of leagues right now. He's only 48% owned, under 50% owned. Grab him this week, because he's definitely worth rostering and putting on your bench and seeing how he plays. Probably even startable. So grab those two guys. Look at those two guys. I'm not saying they're both going to have great weeks. Definitely not Juju, because he's not even playing. But those are two guys I like potentially moving forward to continue to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I do too. And
let's get with running backs.
Yeah, so there's not a lot to talk about this week on running backs, but I want to, you know, obviously Tank Bigsby had a big explosion this week, and you know everyone's ready to write ETN off and give this guy the job. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think ETN's going to play. He's going to eat into his snap count some, and he's probably going to he's probably a flex option, or if you were in a weak running back situation or got guys on buys, you could start him at running back. But just we tend to get way too excited about one week and one good week and way too deflated by one bad week. Okay. This thing's a roller coaster all the way through. You're going to have your ups and downs with guys. You got to be patient with some of these guys. You can't run out every time a guy has a bad game and dump him. I mean, you got to stick to it. If you believe in the talent and you've done your research, you believe in the talent, like Wicks for me, I've seen the talent. I've seen the hands. I've seen the ability to get open and run good routes. We just now need to see it come to fruition, and it will. So patience is really the thing in fantasy, because you know, I picked up Bo Nix in one of our leagues. Somebody dropped him.
Me too. I started him in one of my leagues.
Yeah. So, okay, Tank Bigsby's a guy to pick up, especially if you have ETN. Tyrone Tracy's another guy. I actually thought this kid looked good.
He looks really good. And
Yeah,
he wasn't even the first. He wasn't even the first back in. Gray was the first guy in, and Gray fumbled or something, and it gave Tracy the opportunity, and he went out there and he played great.
he did. He played fantastic, and he also his background is as a receiver. And I mentioned last week that he didn't really do anything in college. Well, my primary reason that his college portfolio is weak on the running back side is he didn't play running back. He was a wide receiver in college. So, that he's got a great skill set for running back. He's a good receiver, a collegiate level receiver, as well as a 5'11, 220, 225-pound running back with good speed. So he might be a diamond in the rough. The Giants might have slipped onto something here. So pick him up if you can. He's especially if you have Singletary too. Then the other guy that I wanted to talk about, and I did some deep research on him. I think he's on the IR. I would say, Marshawn Lloyd has kind of been a name that's been out there since training camp, and he's finally getting to the point to where he's going to be activated. And I looked up his stats in college. This guy is explosive. I mean, the kid that they're playing, Emmanuel Wilson, he's a nice player, but he's not even anywhere close to as good as this Lloyd kid. So the Packers haven't talked much about him because they don't want to talk about him. They don't want the other teams in the league to know how good he is. This kid's good, real good, and he's going to play when he gets back, and he's going to take Wilson right out, and he's probably going to be. It's probably going to end up being a Braylon Allen, Breece Hall situation. That's how good this guy is. So you don't believe me? Look him up. Go look into his background. He played at USC last year, had a tremendous year. He's explosive. He's not got a ton of wear on the tires. I think he's an RB1 at some point in his career, whether it's this year, next year, year after. But he's got speed, size. One thing he's also got that I love is vision. And I'm going to talk a little bit about vision. And here's what you look for. I was watching the Green Bay Rams game. Kieran Williams and Blake Corum, they were on like the 1 yard line. First down. Corum put him in. I guess McVay, who the hell knows what McVay's doing, but he puts Corum in. 3 straight drop balls handed off. Guy can't get in the end zone. They take Corum out. They put Williams in. Williams hesitates when he gets the ball, finds the hole, and goes through it. Mm-hmm. Corum doesn't look at anything, just barrels right in there. Yep. Gets stopped every time. So this Lloyd kid has vision, and you want guys with vision. Remember Le'Veon Bell? Le'Veon Bell. He had tremendous vision.
Yeah.
He was patient.
Arian Foster. You remember Arian Foster?
Yeah.
Same thing. Guy would, even guys like Bijan Robinson really has tremendous vision as well, but they just don't play him the right way.
No, that's a tear. I don't even want to talk about that situation. Just I dealt with it for 2 years.
Keaton Mitchell may be coming back too. I don't know how much run he's going to get.
I think a lot.
You do?
I do. I think a ton. I think
he's really
that they're going to try to rest Big Boy, and they're hoping Mitchell can give him some. Because to be honest with you, Justice Hill is not really a running back. He's more of a slot receiver and an H-back.
P-line.
Yeah, he's a P-line. Yeah. I love Keaton Mitchell.
All right, who else do we got? There's we talked about Tank Bigsby. Oh, here's one. Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright got an opportunity for Miami this week when A-Chain went down, and let's be honest. A-Chain continues to get hurt. He's pretty small. He gets hurt. Same thing with Mostert. He's going to continue to get hurt. Jalen Wright looked good when he came in. He rushed the ball, I think, 13 times for 86 yards or something like that.
It's another without Tua in that offense, though. It's just nothing. I'm shocked at how little create. I mean, he did. You're right. Wright looked good, and A-Chain is a injury plagued, and Mostert's 32 years old, so the writing's on the wall for Wright to take over there. But who knows what McDaniel, that pajama boy, is going to do? So I don't know.
All right, let's cover whatever else you need to cover because I got to jump off.
Okay, so I just want two more. Tucker Kraft, I hope you picked him up. He did fantastic. He's a solid, start him every game the rest of the season, okay? Yep. 100%. You got a goal. You got arguably one of the top 5 tight ends in the country, in the NFL, off the waiver wire. I'm mad I didn't get him.
Yeah.
And then Theo Johnson at the Giants. There's a lot of Giants guys coming on. Now, I don't know if Theo Johnson's uptick in targets were because Neighbors was out. Probably has a lot to do with it. But anyway, this is another tight end with good athleticism, big 6'6" kid, very, 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 very athletic. Maybe not going to do anything much this year, but he's got to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
Then any defenses. You know, it's a tough week on defenses. I thought Denver might be a good play against the Chargers.
I like Denver almost every week, man. Their defense is really good.
Yeah, you got – well, the good thing about Denver's defense, whoever is playing – whoever the top wide receiver is getting taken out.
Getting shut down.
Yeah.
And that guy, every single time he's out there on the field, has a chance to – for a pick 6, which gets you 6 points.
And I was actually going to say that Ladd McConkey was going to be a good player, Johnston. But honestly, I don't know who Surtain's going to be on. Probably Johnston.
Yeah.
So it could be McConkey that has a decent game or Palmer, but it ain't going to be whoever Surtain is. Now, it's possible that Surtain could just take one side of the field and just take whoever lines up in front of him. So,
yeah. Yeah, you don't know, but I love that Denver defense this year. And I think it's that Denver team is surprisingly a team I'm kind of excited to watch. That was real quick. I do want to just talk about that Denver offense because I think as Bo Nix gets better, you're going to see the rest of that offense get a little bit better too. I think you're going to see Javonte Williams get better. I think he's trending up. If you look at his fantasy points, you can see he's been trending up, getting better and better each week. Cortland Sutton, I think you'll start seeing that guy come to life a little bit. He's a big receiver. He's a good receiver. So keep your eyes on him. Maybe they're trade targets to go after. Also, Rico Dowdle is a trade target of mine right now. I think you're seeing his playing time go up. You're seeing him get the ball more. He's much more explosive than Zeke Elliott. And that Cowboys team is going to continue to score. So those 2 running backs right there, Javonte and Rico Dowdle, you can maybe trade for pretty cheap and put them on your roster, and they're going to be solid RB2s.
Hey, Friedman, how do you grow a piano on your back? Because that's what Elliott's got on his back. That guy has gone so far, so fast, hasn't he?
Yeah, that happens with running back, though, dude. You remember Todd Gurley? The guy was amazing.
And Chris Johnson.
Amazing one year, and the next year you're like, what happened?
I know.
Man, it's so much wear and tear on your body out there. Gosh. But then you see guys who get to rest because they get hurt, like Javonte Williams or, the guy from, some of these guys who get hurt. And 2 years, 3 years later, they're fine. And they're 27, 28 years old. They're good to go, looking good.
Well, Derrick Henry just ran the fastest.
He's an anomaly, though. That guy's just an absolute machine.
Oh, unbelievable. Every year in fantasy, I keep thinking, I'm not taking him. He's too old. And every year I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know. He's incredible. All right, let's wrap it up. That's what we got for waiver wire pickups this week. Look to add some of those guys.
And we'll come back on Saturday or Sunday and do game-by-game analysis. There's going to be some guys show up on the injury report. There's going to be some things that happen between now and then. We'll keep our eye on it so you don't. The 2 or 3 of you that are watching us, thanks for watching.
How about spreading the word?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.